Hey, how's it going, guys? This is NatePick, and welcome to my tech world. So today I'm actually going to do something a little bit different. I am going to use my cameras, but I have my T14 laptop here. This is the Gen 3 that has a 13 Gen Intel chip inside of it. Now you may notice that I'm wearing these weird looking aviator glasses. The reason why I'm wearing these is because these lights are really bright. My eyes are actually hurting today, so I'm trying to block some of that harshness out, but still be able to see. So yeah, this is what I'm going to wear today. But I wanted to try, I have my webcam right here. I have my top-down webcam, and then I also have my capture card plugged in. So I wanted to do an install of CachyOS, which I'm going to be using this particular drive, to be able to see exactly how this will all work. So this is kind of an experiment for me. Plus, this will give a video to y'all and for me to install Linux distro and do something different. And then I have a list of stuff that needs to be actually added to that machine, like applications basically of what I need to use every single day. So let's try to get started. So I have this starting up, and I'm having to do the top down view for right now until I can actually get into that. Let's see, need to be able to get into the actual menu here. Okay, we're going to do F12, entering the big boot menu, and I'm going to select my USB drive, go to my Ventoy, as you can see, Cachy, we'll do grub, and select CachyOS, and hopefully this will allow me to actually switch over to my capture card to where you can see everything else that I'm doing, but it's going to take a minute to get there. So yeah, this is kind of what I've been working on. Okay, as you can see, it is displaying my screen now. Of course, this is covering up part of what it's doing, but that doesn't really matter. It's going to matter once I get into the main system, and it'll be more in the middle of the screen instead of, you know, out in the middle of nowhere. So we are in CachyOS, and I'm going to go ahead and do something, and I'm going to cut this part out completely, but I'm going to connect to my network and get that started. Okay, so as you can see, we are connected to the Wi-Fi, so I'm going to go ahead and get started, and it says to launch the installer. So here's the installer for CachyOS. Once again, it's using a KDE desktop environment. That is not what I like to use whatsoever, so we're going to go ahead and hit next. And I am in the Chicago time zone and default keyboard. And then this is where you can kind of, you know, pick different boots. I'm just going to pick systemd just because it works. I know some people really don't like systemd, but it works for me. So that's what I'm going to select. I'm going to erase the entire disk, and I'm actually going to just do it as just a XT4. Sorry, that's what I like. It's what I use. So if I need backups, I have a server. So this is where it becomes interesting. So this laptop, I said I was going to run Cosmic for a year. I did not say that I was going to use Pop!OS only. So for this, I am going to select the Cosmic desktop and run the actual Cosmic on CachyOS. So that's the kind of catch that's there. And so it shows everything that is going to install. And I don't think I will use anything else. I might install Nuri later just to try it out, but for now I'm just going to keep it as it is and just use the Cosmic. So next. Okay. That's usually all my names. Well, I name this computer, I usually name it T14 just because that's what it is. or actually T14 Gen3. Password. This one's going to be blurred out. I'm sorry. Okay, and I'm going to keep where it says use the same password for the administrator account, which basically means it's going to give you the root account access. So whenever you go into root, you'll actually be able to use the same password. So yep, we're going to delete everything on here and hit install. Install now. And if you really want to be a nerd, you can toggle that on, and there you go. There's your log. So we're just going to sit here and let this install, and whenever we get back to the login screen, then we'll go from there. Okay, so as you can see, we are now into the all done. Now you could just hit done and keep playing around inside of it, but we've installed it to the actual hardware. So we're going to move on and go to restart now and hit done. And then once it restarts, I'm going to pull the USB drive out. Okay, USB drive is out. No longer need that. In the meantime, get a sip of coffee. Okay, so as you can see by the little fancy animation, we are into CachyOS, which, boom, we are now finally at the actual desktop. So I'm going to blur this part out because I need to type in my password. And there you go. So funny enough, it put the screen over here. So I'm going to have to adjust that real quick. Let me go into my settings. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, the reason why that the black bars are now on the side of the screen for y'all is because this is actually a 1920 by 1200. So it's a 16 by 10 monitor. And so it's going to look a little bit different, but you should be able to see quite a bit. So the first things that I always do when I come in is to actually go into here and just run an update. As simple as that. The first update says that, hey, there's nothing to do. So we're good there. So we're going to go into, I'm going to exit out of this, and then I'm going to look at the actual CachyOS. It says, welcome to CachyOS. Don't want it to start at start anymore, because once it's installed, so there's a lot of apps and tweaks and other stuff that you can do. So system updates, reinstall all packages, install gaming packages. That is quite a few packages. Just for the heck of it, let's let it go ahead and do its thing. So yeah, it's going to go ahead and install all these packages, and I'm basically just trying to get it to where of a user experience of a brand new user, just to see, you know, you clicked on stuff, what would happen. So, but that is actually a very good thing that it automatically starts installing packages out of the box. Now, once again, you can go through and do individual packages, but to be able to have that in one little repo, it's actually a really good thing. That's actually pretty cool. And I wish other Linux distros would do that as well. Just have a game package, and it just puts all these packages in here with the dependencies that it needs and just installs them all. So install some of those packages. It actually failed some of those. Cache update enabled. That means every time there's an update, don't like to do that. Pretty much I want to keep everything by itself. Let's see what the actual package installer looks like. Okay, so this is the area. I know they kind of took this from Arco because it's the exact same layout. This is the area where they could actually fix some of this, but I know there's a few of these that I already want to get. Okay, so I was actually recording this onto my MacBook because I have everything plugged into the hub. The issue that I have is I ran out of storage, and so basically I've had to use one of my external drives, plug it in, and now I'm recording to it directly, so that way I won't run out of storage. So there was some stuff that I was doing that I am not going to go back and record. I don't really even feel that it's necessary, but one of the things that I am doing right now is I am installing DaVinci Resolve. It is going to be the free version because I have the studio version on my MacBook Air and I have it on my Linux main Linux system. So I'm not going to worry about that right now, but I will at least install the free version because I know how to do some workarounds to make certain codecs work. So that will be a good thing. And the main thing that I want to try before I exit out of this is just to see exactly how well it will work. Let's see. A couple things failed. Oh, it's a Qt5, of course, Qt5. Okay, so it does say that DaVinci Resolve was here. So all that was installed. Let's see if it's available. Yes, it is. So I'm going to click it, continue, quick setup. Okay, it did recognize the graphics cards. That's good because I did install part of this. I did install the Intel Media driver. So that has all the extra driver support that's needed for this 13 Gen Intel CPU, which is, you know, it has the, was it Iris graphics or something like that. So yeah, we're going to do 1080p most of the time. I do quite a bit of 4K footage, but that's on the main workstation system. I'm not doing 4K on here. You can forget that. Yep. So that's good. Yep. I know DaVinci Resolve. Okay. Let's see what happens when I start it. So I can tell you right now, one thing it will not do. Yeah, it does. It doesn't give you a way to make it any bigger. You have to like force it. I think it's F11 or F11, something like that. In order to force it to a bigger screen, there's a certain key binding you have to hit in order to say, hey, open full screen, and then you can use to edit. Anyway, so this is basically what I was setting out to do, was to install Cosmic onto this laptop, keep it on this laptop, but I could use different operating systems. And so far I'm going to keep Cachy as it is. I've already installed Yay because that's my preferred way of handling Pac-Man. And so everything seems to be working. I don't have any other issues so far. So hopefully I can get this video out to you guys. And I feel like I need to hurry because I ran out of storage space, but I have over 1 terabyte now that I have enough storage space. But at the same time, I don't want to have to deal with, you know, possibly running out. The problem with that I'm running into right now is that I'm using the MacBook Air to record everything with everything together, and it uses ProRes. ProRes uses a lot of data. Good Lord. I mean, just the few little bits that I did was already 52 gigs. So yeah, when I edit this down, I'm definitely going to be editing onto the Linux machine and rendering out on the Linux machine, because yeah, there's no way that I'm going to keep it that big of a file size. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, it was just a quick little install of CachyOS. Once again, there was a few things that I did do, but I'm not going to go back and try to re-record it because yeah, I ran out of file storage, and that was a dumb mistake on my part. I now have it set up to where I shouldn't ever run out, hopefully. But yeah, other than that, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, peace.